Welcome back to Artifact Explorations with the Kelsey Museum of Archaeology. Thank you for joining us as we continue our look at the Greco-Roman Egyptian town of Karanis. To review quickly, Karanis was an important agricultural town on the edge of the Fayum, the largest oasis in Egypt. Through the University of Michigan's excavations at the site, we have been able to piece together a fairly full picture of what daily life was like for the ancient Karanians. Today, we're going to look at a collection of objects that should look very familiar. Shoes. During excavations at Karanis, archaeologists uncovered hundreds of these palm fiber sandals. Now one might ask, what can shoes tell us about the people who wore them, aside from maybe their fashion sense? It does look like they really liked flip-flops. Well, shoes can tell us some information about the physical aspects of the people, as well as socioeconomic information. So how do shoes tell us these things? By looking at the size of the shoes, we can infer the height of the people of Karanis. Years ago, an undergraduate student wanted to know if the shoes at Karanis followed some standard sizing pattern. They went to the local shoe salesman and bought a shoe sizer and sized all of the sandals from Karanis. What they discovered was that they did follow standard sizing. We found US toddlers size 9.5, women's size 6, and men's size 7s and 10s. Now, these are pretty small sizes, and this can tell us that the people of Karanis were shorter in stature. What this standard sizing also tells us is that there was a shoemaker in Karanis, a person whose specialty was to make these sandals. This gives us an indication of the wealth of Karanis. The fact that people could afford to buy shoes from a store instead of making them at home, and the fact that a person could afford to pay their taxes based on the money they made by selling shoes, rather than having to work in the fields to pay their taxes with grain, both tell us that the town of Karanis had some amount of wealth. Shoes can also sometimes give us indications of people's health. For example, if you find pairs of shoes, by studying the wear patterns of them, you can tell if a person, for example, had one leg shorter than the other. One thing we know for sure, if you look closely at these sandals, they are broken in exactly the same spot that our flip-flops break today. So in more than 2,000 years, we have yet to perfect flip-flop technology. Thank you for joining us today for Artifact Explorations as we explored the shoes of Karanis. We hope to see you again next time as we continue to take a look at the excavations from Karanis.